Hey, welcome to MLB Central, MLB Network's new morning show. We'll be with you live every weekday at 10 a.m. from our brand new Studio 21, named in honor of Pirates legend and baseball icon Roberto Clemente.
Clemente played 18 seasons with the Pirates, and his impact is felt throughout the game today. From this state-of-the-art 8,000-square-foot studio, we will bring you highlights, have all the inside info, and set the table for the day ahead in Major League Baseball.
I'll be keeping it real, giving you fresh, honest analysis on the biggest stories of the day, and take you behind the scenes with some of the best players in the game.
2,430 games will be played in the big leagues this season, and we're going to talk about every single one of them.
We can't wait. It will all begin on this very couch. We need company. Hey,
yeah, come on, D-Ro. MLB Central is on the air.
Right now.
Next up, MLB Central. Happy opening day and welcome to the inaugural installment of MLB Central. As they're saying in clubhouses across this great land of ours today, it'll be another 180 days until you get to choose your own friends. Opening day in Major League Baseball is a big day. I love this kind of stuff.
Are you kidding me? Getting a chance to spend opening day with you guys.
That's right.
Truly honored and humbled. This is going to be unbelievable.
3 hours on this couch every single day. Some of us are morning people, others.
Yeah, it's going to be a scuffle.
Not so much.
Not so
Yeah, I was
much.
trying to stay up late and watch the Cubs and Cardinals
How'd it
yesterday. I
go?
wanted to watch it through to the conclusion. It was fine, but in another couple of days, it's going to catch up with us staying up late to watch these games.
We're doing it all for you. You may be wondering what we're going to cover over 3 hours every single morning. Let's check the very first MLB Central arrival board. Cards Cubs last night. Did the new look Cubs come out strong against their arch rivals? Highlights on the way. And we love him for his unique personality, but Sean Casey was a lifetime 300 hitter, so how did he do even better on opening days? Plus the man, our friend Bob Costas, live in studio. He'll join us to talk about some new rules that could change the way the game is played. And Cole Hamels gets the ball today for the Phillies, but before that, he spent time with our guy, D-Ro. You don't want to miss it.
Like Hamels today against the Red Sox for DraftKings. Sorry about it. Hey, a wake-up call. One game yesterday. Wake it up, people. If you missed the big pitching matchup between John Lester and Adam Wainwright, here's how it went down. Jason Hayward, welcome to St. Louis. A double into right in the top of the first. Matt Holliday next. There are going to be a lot of stakes out there for Matt Holliday this year, D-Ro.
Absolutely. Top of the lineup, Matt Carpenter. Jason Hayward gets a chance to move into that two-hole. Awesome lineup.
Adam Wainwright was awesome yesterday. Anthony Rizzo with a man at third. This is in the bottom of the first, and Big Waino gets him looking. Runner left stranded in scoring position.
Anthony Rizzo had a tough spring. I picked him as my NL MVP. He didn't get off to the best start.
Got plenty of time. You're all good. Don't worry about that. Lester in a jam in the second. Matt Carpenter up singles to shallow right center, runs, scores, and the Cardinals lead at 2-0. By the way, they'd have all they need early in this one. So to the third now, and Wainwright rolling. Rizzo again, 2 out and a man at second. He takes a pitch for a ball, then steps out with both feet, not following the new pace of play rules. So on the next pitch, 1-0 pitch for a ball, steps out again. What's with the pace of play? Let's enforce, huh? Takes the 2-1 pitch for a ball, steps out again. Completely forgot about the new rule. Nobody said anything. I think the point is here they're going to work him into this slowly, and it wouldn't matter. He'd strike out swinging. Waino struck out 5 through 3. Top of the fifth, still 2-0. Lester in another jam, runners at the corners, and a little looper pro jock out to shallow right. Carpenter scores. Cardinals lead at 3-0, and that would be all for the pricey free agent import. Gone after 4 1/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs. To the sixth, a little more Adam Wainwright. We just had to show you this Jorge Soler shot that Matt Holliday makes the great play on.
Not known for his glove out there, Matty Holliday getting dirty.
Everything goes well for the Redbirds in their opener, and they are winners on Sunday night in 3-0 shutout fashion. New Cardinal Jason Hayward on his team's opening day win.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. You know, great team win. What an atmosphere to come play in. You know, Adam Wainwright versus John Lester. Yachty called a great game. He and Wayno worked together well as always. We played some, solid D behind them, and I feel like we put, Lester on the ropes enough to get to him.
Not much working. A little bit of a grind from the get-go. A lot of foul balls. A lot of balls up in the zone. Ball was flat. Anytime I get that many fly balls, I know that I'm not where I need to be. Pitchers aren't doing what they need to be doing, and like I said, just up in the zone too much tonight.
Back here on the couch, even D-Row, if the Cubs got a runner on, Adam Wainwright in complete control.
I'm not a firm believer that opening day has any indication on what's going to happen, but Adam Wainwright was vintage Adam Wainwright.
Well, he's already setting us up for his 2-for-9 career opening day line.
No, let's dive into bottom of the third inning. Tommy La Stella leads off. They finally get something going, get the leadoff hitter on right here, and to watch Adam Wainwright go to work. La Stella steals second right here, something that I love, the aggressive play against Yachty. But watch him cut her away. Mike Winters was a little loose with the strike zone. He puts Jorge Soler, but this was the at-bat right here. 1-0 breaking ball of Anthony Rizzo. Molina comes out. You got Starlin Castro on deck. They're probably talking about, do we pitch around this guy? What do we do? All right, 3-1 count. Let me flip a curveball in. 3-2, let me throw a better one and get fired up and totally extinguish any hopes of the Cubs getting back in this. That's the beauty of Adam Wainwright, the ability to kind of pitch backwards at times. He has so many weapons in his arsenal, and he put them all on display in the bottom of the third inning.
Things didn't go as well for John Lester in his Cubs debut, and I can almost read the advance copy here and feel bad on John Lester's behalf, because if this continues, the running game, you're going to have people talking about that play-in game against the Royals last year and his last start as an A and how Kansas City ran wild, and this seemed to be an extension of that.
100%, Matty, and if I'm managing a ball club right now and John Lester's on the bump, I don't want him mano-y-mano. I'm going to do everything in my power to try and beat him, and obviously he doesn't like throwing the bases. I know it's something that he's worked on in spring training. Joe Madden addressed it, but right here, situation 2-0 game. Jason Hayward is dead to rights. This is spring training PFP at its finest. All Johnny Lester has to do is run at Jason Hayward and get him in a rundown. He chooses not to. Look at the leads these guys are getting. Matt Carpenter right here. You have no chance. He's not even picking over to first base in these situations. Here's a double steal. David Ross has no chance to even get a throw off to third base. So this is something that people found out in a wild card. It was exposed by Ned Yost and the Kansas City Royals, and I think it's something he's got to work on because he's that good that other teams are going to try and beat him small ball kind of ways.
More discussion on that coming up, but I realize we're 8 minutes into this program. We have yet to talk about the trade that happened last night. The Padres, unbelievable, put an exclamation mark on an incredible offseason Sunday by acquiring Craig Kimbrell and Melvin Upton Jr. from the Braves in a 6-player trade. Kimbrell, one of the premier closers in the game, led the National League for the second straight year, 47 saves in 2014, a 1.61 by the way. As for the trade details, here they are. The Braves part with two of their main men, Craig Kimbrell and Melvin Upton Jr., gone. They head west. A pitching prospect, a minor league outfielder, Cameron Maybin, Carlos Quentin, go to Atlanta. I was looking on Twitter and saw a tweet that said, AJ Preller, I love you. And that was before I heard about the trade. I'm like, what's going on? And then I hear the details.
Unbelievable. I mean, this just, we're all getting ready to enjoy our holiday meal yesterday, and this news comes down like, you got to be kidding me. AJ Preller is a genius. I'll talk about it from the San Diego standpoint, but what do you make of this from what the Braves are trying to accomplish?
I live in Atlanta, guys, so I follow the Braves. I'm on top of it. John Hart's one of our own, and what he's been able to do is unbelievable. I know the fans are disappointed to lose Craig Kimbrell. He was huge there. But bottom line is the Mets are better, Marlins are better, Nationals are the class of that division. You're not going to have a chance at winning this division. You got a new stadium in 2017. You got rid of Melvin Upton, BJ Upton, however you want to call it. You saved $53 million. You got 4 of the first 54 picks in the upcoming draft. This put the exclamation point on the rebuild for me. And I thought it was a terrific trade. And you know what? Kudos to Craig Kimbrell. Go out to San Diego. He deserves a chance to have a shot at a World Series title.
What's it like facing Kimbrell, D-Row?
It's absolutely unimaginable. This guy's ball. It doesn't make sense. It absolutely rises on you, and he's got one of the most devastating. I talked to Brian McCann about him. I said, is there any rhyme or reason to what you call? He says, D-Row, I just put down one or two. He can throw either one, and nobody can hit it. So this is a great move for both parties.
Yeah, and, you know, from the San Diego standpoint, he's not a rental. There's a lot of time left on the deal. What San Diego gave up was a disgruntled, coming off of injury Carlos Quentin, who, quite frankly, didn't have a position necessarily. They gave up Cameron Maben, who'd had time there to show what he could do. It didn't work out with all the high-priced outfield additions. He didn't have a place to play. So if you had to keep a utility outfielder, you're going to keep the less expensive, I think more versatile Will Venable versus those guys. You didn't, and no offense, you didn't give up much to get the premier closer in the game. And by the way, Melvin Upton Jr. might be a better player than BJ. We don't know yet. Melvin Upton Jr., he could be great. I love this deal for San Diego. And if you're, honestly, if you're in San Diego and you run into A.J. Preller, he looks a little bit like Gene Wilder. If you see him out there, buy him a coffee, give him a handshake, name a child Preller. I mean, this guy is single-handedly doing what he can to turn around a woe-begotten franchise that's never had anything close to an offseason like this. Look, if you had just put Kemp and Myers on this roster, it would have been a big deal. But look at the other big-time studs that he went out and got. I can't wait to watch how this turns out in San Diego.
Name your child Preller, America.
Totally buying the fryer.
I thought the cherry on top was signing James Shields. I really thought that cemented his offseason. But now to go out and get Craig Kimbrell, I don't know if they'll move Joaquin Benoit, but to have Benoit and Kimbrell, 8-9, that's nasty.
I love it. And the Pods are in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers today for opening day. Clayton Kershaw on the mound against the aforementioned James Shields. Some of the other opening day matchups, there's plenty of day baseball around the Grande Ligas today, including where ballpark cam is turned on in New York at the stadium for the Blue Jays and Yankees. Not CC Sabathia, but Masahiro Tanaka. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Russell Martin's Toronto debut, Josh Donaldson's Toronto debut. Donaldson will be on this program with us tomorrow morning. Tigers are opening at home. They've got the Twins in town. Paul Molitor making his managerial debut. Torrey Hunter back in a Twins costume. Plenty of intrigue there. I mean, you don't need these kind of sub-stories to make opening day sing. They just happen to be all over the league, including places like Milwaukee, where it's Kyle Kendrick making his first career opening day start. I love this note that he's one of 6 opening day starters this year who were acquired this past offseason. Fascinating movement all around the league.
More fascinating, you are using a highlighter. It must be opening day. Never going to happen again. What? Mark DeRosa.
Wait a minute, I use highlighters all the time.
Researching all day, all morning?
All morning.
All morning long.
Believe it.
I feel like we have not given Studio 21 its proper due.
Okay,
look around, everyone. I want you at home to look at something because it was certainly a labor of love. 8,000 square feet of beautiful. 14 back-to-back 55-inch monitors. We have a tradition of naming our studios after legendary players. Roberto Clemente.
I buried a time capsule in here before they finished the floor. It was one of Harold's suits from 2009 with the huge lapel and the baggy slacks. So we can dig it up in a few years and all get a good laugh. It's underneath us right now.
That's what you decided to bury?
I thought it would be nice. Hey, a part of this new beautiful studio, Lauren, is right behind us. This wall of baseballs, or ball of wasteballs, if you will. How many did you say are in here?
8.
900.
That's amazing. So what we're going to do, we're going to have plenty of guests on MLB Central as the season wears on, from the entertainment world, from baseball, of course. When they come join us, we're going to have them sign a baseball, stick it in the wall there. D-Row, we'd like you to be the inaugural.
Oh, wow.
Here,
utility man extraordinaire.
Care for one?
Jack of all
and
trades.
Look at this. We have a fancy pen box. There's a 69-cent Bic in there, but we've got a great box.
It says MLB Central on it.
Sign that baseball.
I'm going to teach all the nonners at home how to sign a baseball right here. This is what you call the sweet spot.
Okay.
Right here. And this is where you ask all your big leaguers to sign. So I'll be the first.
So where are you signing it?
You're right.
This is so
You're right.
self-involved.
I love it.
I love it. I love it, too. Coming up later, John Palmarosi joins the show and tells us why these AL Central aces may be rivals for a long, long time. Plus, no team made more offseason noise than the Padres, but will it lead them to the World Series? Bob Costas joins us ahead.
And, hey, after a dozen successful years in the big leagues, Sean Casey has not only found the catering truck in our brand new studio, he's found the vending machines, and he's found his way to the set. The mayor joins us live right here in Studio 21. He'll be with us all week. Next. Where is he, by the way? Case!
He's late.
He was supposed to walk through there, America.
Here he is.
Great.
Here he is.
Oh, he's coming.
Where are you?
They never told me, but I got the Roberto
Seriously,
Clemente
dude.
wine, baby. They never told me to come, but I'm here.
Wine?
Oh!
10 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
Wine.
But this is the opening show, Shahadi.
There it is, the inaugural signed baseball amidst a sea of Rob Manfred signatures. There he is, Mark DeRosa, the first of 900-plus baseballs we'll fill this set piece with by the end of the season.
This afternoon in the Bronx, Masahiro Tanaka will make the first opening day start of his major league career. He pitched with a partially torn ligament in his elbow towards the end of last season, but reported no discomfort this spring. He said he'd be honored to get the ball on opening day, something that surprisingly he did only once in Japan. Drew Hutchison will take the hill for the Jays. At Comerica this afternoon, David Price will make his fourth straight opening day start, ending Justin Verlander's streak of 7 consecutive opening day starts. Phil Hughes gets the ball for the Twins. He was 16-10 with a 3.52 ERA and 32 starts just a year ago, setting a major league record with an 11.63 strikeout to walk ratio. And after an offseason of trade rumors, Phillies lefty Cole Hamels will be on the mound against a team that he was often rumored to be traded to. You got it, the Boston Red Sox. Clay Buchholz will face Hamels. Buchholz coming off a disappointing 2014 season where he was 8-11 with a 5.34 ERA.
It's opening day and baseball is back. The chalk is down and the gloves are oiled for the 140th edition of opening day. In a game that revolves around numbers, we thought we'd dig a little deeper to get you ready for the season. The first opening day took place in 1876, just weeks after Alexander Graham Bell patented the telephone and a few months before Custer's last stand. Thomas Edison was still 3 years away from perfecting the electric light bulb. The population of the United States was still hovering south of 50 million. The Wright brothers were just 9 and 4 years old, still decades away from their famous first flight. Fast forward to 2015, when the Mariners will have to travel more than 40,000 miles by private jet, and we have plenty of history to look back on. Did you know that there have been over 10,000 players to participate in opening day baseball games? Broken down, that's over 1,300 games that contained over 12,000 innings. While eating somewhere north of 10 million hot dogs, fans have seen more than 15,000 strikeouts and over 22,000 hits, more than 1,700 of which have left the park. While some opening day numbers are enormous, others are just a little bit more exclusive. The all-time statistical leaders for opening day are as follows. Wins, Walter Johnson with 9. Strikeouts, Randy Johnson with 107. Hits, Pete Rose with 31. Homers, Frank Robinson, Ken Griffey Jr., and Adam Dunn with 8 each. There have been 17 presidents to throw out the first pitch on opening day. That includes every leader of the free world from Taft to Obama except Jimmy Carter. Why didn't you do it, Jimmy?
It's more than just common sense. I tell you, it is an act of patriotism.
Randy Johnson had 4 opening day starts with double-digit strikeouts, more than any hurler in history. 3 players have had a 3-homer game on opening day. George Bell, Tuffy Rhodes, and Dimitri Young. Don Drysdale's the only pitcher with multiple opening day homers in his career. And in the entire history of our national pastime, there's been just 1 opening day no-hitter. That came when Bob Feller blanked the White Sox back in 1940. Some opening day fun with Sean Casey, Mark DeRosa. Case, welcome. That was some grand entrance. Happy opening day,
I got to
buddy.
make it grand. I got to make it grand when I come in. And I bought you a little, Studio 21, little housewarming, brand new studio gift, Roberto Clemente Museum from my friends out there in Pittsburgh. Thought it was fitting for you guys.
Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Let's talk a little opening day.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure your memories are varied. You were, if memory serves, traded on opening day. Is that?
Yeah, by John Hart, who's making all these trades. Hey, Kimbrel, you're gone. Casey was gone back in 98. They traded me for Dave Burba, who was the #1 starter for the Reds. And I'm sure the Reds fans were like, who's this bum we're getting from, Cleveland? But it worked out all right. But 14 hours for opening day, I was on my way to Cincinnati.
It beats opening day in Buffalo, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
right?
no doubt.
I mean,
I was heading down to AAA, and they said, hey, you're going to the big leagues with the Reds. I was like, I'll take it.
so give me your opening day, your biggest opening day memory as a player, your fondest memory as a player.
You know, it's one of those things, Matty, where you're looking to see what parks you're opening. And for me, being from Pittsburgh and always going to the Three River Stadium with my dad, seeing that we were opening up PNC Park in 2001, and I just kept thinking to myself, man, I hope I get a chance to get the first hit there. And I end up hitting fourth that day, and not only did I get the first hit, but I ended up getting the first home run. I'd left 70 tickets to the game. Everyone I knew from like first grade on was there, and it was just one of those moments that you'll never forget. Rounding the bases.
Dero, what about you? Opening day memories.
Opening day memories for me, signing with the Chicago Cubs. Kosuke Fukudome in 07. We're losing by 3 runs, I think it was. Eric Gagne comes in to close, and this guy just enshrined himself to the Wrigley faithful. I got to be honest, I think it was the last hit he got the rest of his career. But for that one shining moment, we thought this guy was going on to be the next Ichiro. And then for me personally, in 09, we got a chance to open up the new Yankee Stadium. I used to go to the old Yankee Stadium with my dad as a kid 6 or 7 times a year. You see Grady Sizemore throwing one in a drink right there. There I am giving high fives.
Nobody knew how that ballpark was going to play back then, too. There were a lot of runs scored in that series.
Oh, my God,
right?
Matty V, I remember taking a fister from Jobber Chamberlain going, wow, God, another fly out to right field. I'm going to be over. Next thing I know, I'm circling the pillows like Millar.
Got him.
Bing, boom. I'm like, guys are going to hit 50 in this yard.
Yeah, 14 games on the opening day docket today. So to get us primed, those were some of your anecdotes from opening day. The great Keith Costas will be joining us all season long on MLB Central. Keith, good morning. Happy opening day. Are you going to shatter the illusion that these guys really performed well on opening day, or do you have some proof?
Half and half there, Matt. Casey, 364 on opening day. First opening day, 3 hits, homer, double, hit safely in all 8 of his starts.
My bad.
Dero, not so much. 2 for
man.
18, 111. But he was a 290 hitter on day 2 of the season.
I'm going to lie to the fans and tell them I loved opening day. It was great, the tradition. Bottom line, it threw me off my routine. I wanted game 2. I was a 300 hitter in game 2, averaged out 220 going into game 3. Let's rock.
Did all right the rest of the way,
Next
too.
lifetime, you'll rake.
Yeah, you know who goes through a lot of the pomp and circumstance, the ceremony, a lot more than anybody else? Whoever's hoisting the commissioner's trophy. The Giants in that case, and the Giants have to do their openers at home, on the road. They're the defending world champs. They got the big target on their back today. And where are they for opening day, Miss Shahadi?
They are in the desert, a couple months off their parade. The Giants will begin their title defense tonight in Arizona when World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner takes the mound against Josh Colmenter. The Giants have won the World Series in 3 of the past 5 seasons, but failed to make the playoffs as defending champions in 2011 and, of course, 2013. First pitch just after 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, still to come, they dominated the offseason, and they weren't done yet. John Palmarosi joins us to tell us how the Padres' latest blockbuster came together. It's next.
Check this out, guys. The New York Stock Exchange getting the spirit of opening day. Not only Mike Piazza, but Harold Reynolds.
What's happening, buddy? How you doing? There's a lot of good-looking dudes in baseball.
Yeah, Harold, there are. And Harold rang the opening bell today.
He's standing next to one of them.
Deal 20 years
Pizza.
ago.
Unbelievable. Look at HR. So if the market crashes today, America, you know exactly what's happening there. Let's check in with Lauren.
Where do I go from that? It's an inside corner with our inside guy, John Palmarosi, live from Comerica. Welcome to the show. You're going to be with us every single day. You're stuck with us, JP. I'm minding my own business last night, eating dinner. This blockbuster trade goes down. You like the Braves' side. Tell me why, JP.
I do, Lauren. Now, obviously, the Padres are going to be helped by the fact that they have Craig Kimbrell. They already had a great bullpen. But the Braves aspect of this is very intriguing. When you talk about the way they've remade this club over under our former colleague here, John Hart at the network, with what he's done this offseason, he has really stripped away a lot of the onerous contracts they had on the books. Now, I'm not going to say Kimbrell's contract was onerous, but certainly Melvin Upton Jr.'s was. And really, they are now able to start this rebuilding process and make some progress on this, I think, over a long period of time. So they get some progress prospects back. We know Matt Whistler, obviously a very intriguing young prospect, but I really think as much a part of this deal, Lauren, is the fact that they were able to hit the reset button in a way that their National League East competitors in Philadelphia really haven't been able to do. So I say good job by John Hart this offseason, and even with this trade, despite the fact they give up Craig Kimbrell.
Hey, World Series predictions. It's opening day. Everyone has one. What's yours?
Okay, Lauren, I'm going out on a bit of a limb here. Maybe not a huge limb because they've become a trendy pick, but the Seattle Mariners will make it to the World Series for the very first time in their franchise's history, and they are going to beat the St. Louis Cardinals in the Fall Classic. I love the fact Felix Hernandez has never been to the playoffs before. You sense that hunger and determination from him to make it there. The best right-handed pitcher of this generation, Lauren. He is going to get that team to the playoffs. And they've got Taijuan Walker, who I think is going to be a breakout star in baseball this year in that rotation. And now finally they have the run scoring to do it with Nelson Cruz there joining Cano and Seager. So I've got the men of the sea, Lauren. They're going to be playing the World Series in Seattle. Harold Reynolds' alma mater. The Mariners win it over the Cardinals.
You better be right. We're going to play that back in September.
I expect to. Thank you.
And either make you look brilliant or make you look not so. JP, thanks so much. Ballpark Cam taking us to see this guy. Oh, the camera's waiting for Alex Rodriguez. High hopes for the Yankees. Can he be their guy? Well, coming up on the show, his on-the-field accomplishments can only be topped by his incredible work off of it. We look back at the life of the great Roberto Clemente. And Bob Costas weighs in on the legacy of number 21, as well as some rule changes that could change the game. It's next. Don't go far.
Batting third, playing right field, number 21, Roberto Clemente. Number 21.
He reflected what Pittsburgh was all about.
I represent the common people of America.
The person that he was still lives amongst the baseball community. I think that's great. I don't think that should ever die.
Falling pretty fast out there. Caught by Clemente with a tremendous sliding catch.
I hit him good. Most of the time I jump into the ball. And I think that I can hit all kind of pitches.
He could run, he could hit, he could throw, he could excite you.
Say he's the greatest ball player I've ever seen.
Well, our beautiful Studio 21 is named in honor of one of the most celebrated players in the history of the game, Roberto Clemente, whose life ended tragically in 1972 when a plane he was a passenger on crashed while en route to Nicaragua. Clemente had been on his way to supply relief to victims of an earthquake. Let's look back now on the life and career of one of the game's biggest heroes.
I born to be a baseball player. This is something that I think about. The more I think about it, I'm convinced that God wants me to play baseball.
60 years ago, Roberto Clemente made his major league debut, beginning his Hall of Fame career that included 15 All-Star appearances, 12 consecutive Gold Glove awards, 4 batting titles, and an MVP award.
He's got a magnificent arm. Defensively, he does it all. And what a hitter.
You know, when you talk about Roberto, you knew he was a superstar.
There's a certain way that he walked. Somebody who knew they were good at what they did and enjoyed doing it.
Less than 10 years after Jackie Robinson integrated the game for African Americans, the Puerto Rican-born Clemente opened the doors for Latin American players. He's remembered as Puerto Rico's greatest player of all time, and his impact is seen throughout the game today.
Here with me right now, the greatest right fielder in the game of baseball, Roberto Clemente. Bobby, congratulations on a great World Series.
Thank you, Bob. And before I say anything in English, I would like to say something for my mother and father in Spanish. En el día más grande de mi vida, para los nenes, la bendición mía y que mis padres me echen mi bendición en Puerto Rico.
Clemente was the first Latin player who was not afraid to exhibit his Latin way to play the game.
Growing up, listening a lot about Roberto Clemente, everything that he did in the game of baseball, in the field, off the field, you always think about try to be like him.
The place that Clemente made his professional home for 18 seasons was Pittsburgh, where he won 2 World Series titles and was named the 1971 World Series MVP.
And what a magnificent performance from Pittsburgh's right fielder, the great Roberto Clemente.
I think that he stood for Pittsburgh the way the coal miners did. I think the fans really took to him and fell in love with him simply because of the way he played the game.
In his final regular season game, Clemente recorded his 3,000th hit.
Bobby hits a drive into the gap in the left center field. There she is. Papers flying, everybody standing. A double for Roberto.
He was inducted posthumously into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1973, becoming the first Latin American and Caribbean player to be enshrined.
The person that Clemente was, I think was the right model to follow and the right attitude to have. And yeah, definitely he was a great model on the field and off the field.
Back here with Bob Costas, Sean Casey, Mark DeRosa, Matt Vasgersian. Bob, it's great to have you with us, and you're the perfect person to talk about the legacy and career of Roberto Clemente, for whom this studio is named.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember most of Roberto Clemente's career, and the thing that strikes me about him, in addition to his heroism and his importance as the first significant Hispanic superstar, here was a guy who had style with dignity. Mariano Rivera, style with dignity. Derek Jeter, style with dignity. You don't have to be an exhibitionist buffoon. This guy exuded style. If you took his number away and put him in a generic uniform, you'd know it was Roberto Clemente. The way he carried himself, the way he walked, the distinctive gait, and some of the plays he made. The 1971 World Series, Frank Robinson is on second base. He catches a ball in the corner by the 309 sign in the old Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. And although Robinson was safe, it was barely from the right field corner, on a fly, on the money, like the Ichiro throw, except Ichiro got long on that particular one. It was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like Frank Robinson, he's Frank Robinson. What?
Sometimes we take a look at vintage video and players from different generations, and you make these leaps in your mind like, well, I'm not sure that skill set would have played today. I'm pretty sure Roberto Clemente's skill set would have played in any vintage of this game's history.
Yeah, no question about it. The one thing, some of the sabermetricians might not like him because he didn't walk that often, he didn't strike out a lot, but he didn't walk all that often. He didn't hit that many home runs, doubles and triples, yes. But he was such an incredibly distinctive player, contemporary of Mays and Aaron, who by slugging percentage and homers were greater, contemporary of Mantle in the other league. But there was something about him, and without being overly dramatic, a little bit like James Dean, a little bit like Marilyn Monroe, he dies young and beautiful. So we never see him fade, either as a ball player, we never see him in an old-timers game. We just see that beautiful, compelling Roberto Clemente. And when Bob Prince interviewed him after the 1971 World Series, and when he spoke in Spanish, it may be hard for people to understand more than 40 years later, but what that meant to a Spanish-speaking person living in America, or what that meant internationally, if the game was on in Puerto Rico, tremendous sense of pride. And remember a few years ago when we unearthed the last game of the 1960 World Series? It was in Bing Crosby's basement because he owned the Pirates, and no one had it. There was no kinescope of it, nothing. No one had ever seen it except the film of Mazeroski's home run. And we unearthed it, and we showed it on MLB Network, and we showed it in a theater in Pittsburgh. And Vera Clemente was there, his widow, and several other players who had been in the game, Dick Groat and Bob Friend and Bobby Richardson from the Yankees. And every time Roberto Clemente came on screen in black and white, even if he was just catching a routine fly ball or standing in the on-deck circle, every one of the 1,500 people in that theater applauded as if they were at a live game in October of 1960. And they all reacted as if they were watching the game as if it was happening right then.
They still feel that way about him. I live in Pittsburgh, and you're exactly right, Bob. People still talk about Clemente, the legend, the legacy he left, how great of a person he was, obviously how great of a player. But a friend of mine, Dwayne Reeder, has that Clemente Museum down there in Engine House 25. That his legacy lives on. People go through there. Yeah. All the pictures of him down there, the winery downstairs. It's just an unbelievable place. But it's a place that never forget how amazing this man was as a player, as a person. Vera Clemente has given a ton of artifacts to that place. Mm-hmm. You've been there. What a wonderful place it is.
Tremendous. He dominated the 1971 World Series, especially. Did okay in 60. 71 World Series, hit that changeup off Cuellar out over left center field in Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, he was just huge when it counted most.
So it is here in Studio 21, named in honor of Roberto Clemente, that we'll be breaking down everything that happens during the 2015 season on MLB Central. And one of the big topics that we're already kicking around, the Pace of Play initiative that was unveiled by Major League Baseball prior to the season. And if you missed it, if you've been away, if you've been living in an envelope, here's the way it looks on paper. Players have a max of 2 minutes, 25 seconds locally and 2:45 if it's a nationally televised game to begin play following a break. That shaves a little time off of each inning. Pitchers can throw as many warm-ups as they want prior to 30 seconds left on the clock, and batters who aren't in the box prior to 5 seconds and pitchers who don't begin motion prior to 0 seconds have violated the rule. A rule we saw, I guess, loosely enforced, maybe encouraged, as opposed to being forced last night in the Cubs-Cardinals opener. D-Row, talk about this. As a hitter, what do you take out of all this?
Yeah, I don't want to be thinking about keeping my toe in the box. So in that regard, in case you had a ton of antics working when you were at the plate.
I'd have been out of the game in a year.
But for me, if they can come out of the breaks quicker, if the pitchers can come out of warming up quicker, I think it'll make everything move in a seamless fashion. But I thought what was interesting, and I'll run this by Bob, Joe Girardi was quoted as saying, hey, Aaron Rodgers can manage an NFL game with a microphone in his helmet. Why can't we figure out a way to incorporate some Bluetooth into their hats to eliminate mound visits? And I would just love your take on that. That would be a way to quicken up the game, because we both know, like Casey said, if somebody comes out, Yachty comes out last night, next thing you know, the whole infield's in there. One guy's got the rosin bag. Hey, where are you going to dinner tonight? What's going on? Next thing you know, it's 2 minutes.
But two things. Then you wouldn't have the scene on the mound in Bull Durham. You know, we're dealing with a lot of bleep here. Well, Candlestick's always make a nice gift. Let's get 2, right? I mean, there's the lore of the game is gone. Plus, as George Carlin pointed out, football is technological. Baseball is pastoral.
Okay.
In football, you have a penalty. In baseball, you make an error. In football, you want to reach the end zone. In baseball, you just want to go home. In football, you wear a helmet. In baseball, you wear a cap. Right?
It's a good Carlin, by the way, Bob.
In football, it's all about downs. What down is it? In baseball, who's up? Are you up? I'm up. Everybody's up. It's all good.
Hey, while you're here with us, give us a World Series prediction. I know it's cliche. I know it's something that we all kind of get tired of doing on opening days, but much like the way you're compelled to fill out a bracket on the first day of the tournament, we have to ask you for a World Series.
I had Gonzaga. I don't know.
What do you got? World Series.
I thought they still had John Stockton. I didn't know. I'm going to go with the Nats and then the trendy pick, the Mariners, for no reason other than I had to fill in the blank. But I saw one of those computer things where they played out a whole season and a postseason 50,000 times. And the Nationals, who are the best team on paper, came out the winner 16% of the time. That was more than any other team. So wouldn't you rather have the field against anybody? I'll let you guys pick anybody.
Yeah, I like
I'll
that.
take the field.
The last time, by the way, in the last 10 years, a preseason favorite to win the World Series, it was the 09 Yankees. That was the only team in the last 10 that was a preseason favorite that won and finished the job. Bob, if you would, before you go, we'd love to have you sign the second ball, the second of 900 and change that's going to be planted we'll give you a nice spot because it's wide open right now.
Should I be like Tom Seaver when the Mets toured Japan, like after they won the World Series, and all these kids just see a ball player, Japanese kids, and he was signing like Babe Ruth, Bozo Clown. I swear to God, Bozo Clown. You know, other things perhaps not repeatable.
We'll leave the license.
The kid walked away smiling.
If you want to assume some other character and sign it as such, that's we'll still put it up there. Hey, Ballpark Cam has turned on. Bob, thanks very much. By the way,
You got it.
Great
Good to
have
see you
with
guys.
us. Ballpark Cam has turned on in Detroit. Miguel Cabrera didn't start his spring training games until just a couple of weeks ago, March 22nd. Has that given the perennial MVP favorite enough time to get ready for the Twins and Phil Hughes today? Among the unanswered opening day questions. Afternoon baseball all across the league on this opening day. Welcome back to MLB Central. We've got Ballpark Cam switched on in the Bronx, where Drew Hutchison and Masahiro Tanaka mix in the opener at Yankee Stadium. It'll be the Toronto debut of a couple of notable players, Russell Martin and Josh Donaldson, who'll be here with us tomorrow on the program. Here are the lineups. This is what he'll be facing. Maybe this is why I got nervous, because I love what the Jays have put together atop the lineup, all the way down to that 6th and 7th spot. They're pretty good.
The guy I really love, though, is Russell Martin. What he's going to do for that staff, the running game, it's a big, big thing, and he's going to be hitting 2 in that lineup. Love it.
Let's go to Comerica up next. Ballpark Cam taking us there live. First pitch this afternoon between the Twins and the Tigers. No Scherzer, no Porcello, no Torianter. No problem? You like him?
I say no problem. Verlander, I don't think anything serious on the injury. He's going to come back. I think Anibal Sanchez is one of the most underrated starters in the game.
How about Paul Molitor making his managerial debut, joining Ted Williams and Ryne Sandberg as the only Hall of Famers to begin their managerial career following their induction. Lineups on the way. You always watch Miggy, right? Against Hughes, a .471 average, 5 home runs lifetime against him, and Torrey Hunter playing in his first major league game in a Twins uniform since September of 2007, Case.
Well, yeah, he's back, and he loves being back in Minnesota, playing his former club here. But look at the middle of that lineup right there, where you got Cabrera, Martinez, and Cespedes. That is, I'll tell you what, that's some fuel right there, some bombs.
Precursor to my World Series prediction, but I'm not saying anything.
Miggy and Vmar didn't play a spring training game till March 22nd.
They can come out of the dead of winter and hit, not take one round.
For the hand.
Who cares? You gonna fight me?
Yeah, I'm coming after you, Maddie.
Seriously, all animated. Let's go to Twitter right now. Adam Jones, opening day, time to defend the East and grind it out. Birdland, we need the love and support for the next 6 months and beyond. Hashtag stay hungry. And then this from Corey Kluber, a contract extension. And he's excited to kick off the 2015 season with both my teams, the Indians and Pepsi. Thrill of the game.
Oh, got a little sponsorship in there, Corey, did you? Maybe that's how the tribe's paying him. Cardinals and Cubs rivalry goes back more than a century, and the 2015 edition is already underway. Who landed the first blow on opening night? Plus, one big name wasn't there at Wrigley yesterday. D-Rose mad about it. Get ready for your first ride on the D-Train next on MLB Central. It is opening day 2015. Good stuff. We are so excited to bring you this opener, this inaugural installment of MLB Central. Lauren Shahadi, Mark DeRosa, Sean Casey, Matt Vasgersian. 1 hour in the books, and nothing went horribly wrong so far. So everything is well. 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. out west. Good morning to you. Happy opening day, guys.
Oh, it's the best day of the year.
Is it?
I think so.
For him, judging by his stats, it was, right? We want you at home to contact the show on Twitter. Use hashtag MLB Central. Join the conversation. We also have a phone number, I think. Are you scared? People can call into the show? Do we have a phone number? We'll show you later. We don't really want
cell
to call
phone number.
Oh, no.
Here's your arrival board for the next hour. The Cubs lost their first game of the season without Chris Bryant. You don't want to miss D-Rose take. Mad Max is just a few hours from his debut in the nation's capital. We'll have a live report from the stadium. We know a ton about Cole Hamels, the pitcher, but what's he like in his private life? We get up close with Hamels in person. That's right. And the long offseason is finally over, but which team put themselves in the best position to win in October? Our predictions coming up. How about last night? Let us take you there. Cardinals, Cubs, John Lester on the mound, making his Cubs debut top first. Matt Holliday. It didn't take long for St. Louis to get to him.
No, it didn't. That's vintage Matt Holliday. He's a big man. He's driven the ball out of the yard 20 times a year, but can still shoot it the other way when he needs to, Case.
Johnny Lester's a little up in the zone at the beginning of that game.
How about Adam Wainwright, Jorge Soler, next batter, Rizzo strikes out swinging.
He was vintage Wainwright right out of the chute. That's hard to do.
How about in the fifth? Lester's in a jam. Runners on the corners. Holliday loops single to right field. Matt Carpenter scoring. Cardinals lead it 3-0. That's your final Sunday night.
Yeah, not a lot of things went really well for the Cubs on opening day, right? The bleachers aren't done, but the ease and panic, I think, was offset by the fact that people were reassured, the bleachers will be up. It's going to be okay. It's going to look great when it's done. And by the way, some help is coming at some point. What gets there first, though? Chris Bryant or the bleachers? What do they need more first?
Don't get him started.
Chris Bryant in 14 spring training games, 9 dingers, numbers that were hard to ignore. Yet for all kinds of reasons, he was not a member of the opening day roster and won't be appearing at Wrigley for the next couple of weeks at least. What do we think of this, Mark DeRosa?
Can I go?
Come on, do it.
Can I go on my daily rant right here
It's
and
time
take
for
a
you.
ride?
Take us on the D
Yeah,
train.
let's take a ride on the D train where I get to pick my poison for the day. And today I'm coming in with Kris Bryant. Listen, this guy is going to go on to have an amazing big league career. He's a can't-miss prospect. But we'll see him in 10 days, Case, and anything short of that would be absolutely foolish. All you have to do is draw from common sense and the Chicago Cubs opening day lineup last night to realize two things. A, they are not one player away. And B, over the course of 11 games, Brian Kenny's going to love this, WAR stat. Mike Trout is only worth half a game. So to lose him for the first 12 days is not going to cripple this franchise in the least. Listen, I understand that Scott Boras has helped change the landscape of this game and represents some of the greatest players today. But if he was running the Cubs and we put a lie detector on him, I'm sure he would have sent them down as well. And I know his fiery quotes, Maddie. I know his fiery quotes were there to kind of shed light to a topic that needs to be addressed, probably coming up in next labor negotiations. But I also love the fact that Kris Bryant came out and said, hey, Scott works for me. Your agent's an employee of you and your brand. And he has every right to be peeved. You don't hit 425 with 9 jacks in spring training and are happy about getting sent down. But I was a part of 8 organizations over the course of 16.
Oh, look at him. He's
yeah.
singled himself up.
I'm talking to America. I'm talking to you, Kris
Get on
Bryant.
the soapbox. Come on, let's do it.
Let's go. Bring that soapbox up here. I got something to say, America.
Hacked off. Look at him. Get up on the
Listen
soapbox
to me.
and give us a rant.
8 different teams.
You're looking at the wrong camera, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm coming here? All right, first day jitters. 16 seasons, 8 different organizations. And I can count numerous times managers would say in spring training, we're taking the best 25 guys north. Very rare that ever happened. I'm not saying I was one of those guys who got sent down to minor leagues. I'm just saying, Kris Bryant, I played in Wrigley Field for those fans for 2 years. They will embrace you and they will love you, and they're waiting for their savior to arrive. And you're going to be mashing balls onto Waveland Avenue for the next 7 years, not 6. And that makes perfect sense to me.
Yes, brilliant. Brilliant.
I want to
Day
take a ride
rant.
on the D train. How do I get a ticket on the D train?
D train comes with the emotional music, apparently.
Can you follow that?
No, you can't follow that. It's so good. D-Ro, I think you're right. I think you're spot on the fact that Kris Bryant deserves to be there right now. But the bottom line, this is how the system works.
Yeah.
Theo Epstein would be
now.
absolutely crazy to not have control of him for 7 years.
100%. And it's something that should be brought and addressed. And I don't know how they go about fixing it in the next labor negotiations. I mean, the average major league salary is $4.3 million. But at the end of the day, ever since we broke in, the best 25 players don't break camp with the team every year. There's a lot of different variables that go into it.
I like your point that they're not one player away. They're not. So having Kris Bryant there now, is it going to make a big difference now? No. I mean, they're trying to save a little service time on this equation and do the math in the front office. I get it. It's just too bad that it had to happen like this with him hitting 9 bombs in the spring.
I know.
There's a billboard outside Wrigley. It says minor league weight, major league talent. How about that?
Here's what they got to fix first. They got to have the bathrooms working at Wrigley Field. Seriously, this was a disaster yesterday. I mean, you don't even need me to. No, I'm staying away from that on the bathrooms. But they just got to fix the bathrooms, then get Kris Bryant.
We got to go. We're going
concession stands working
to the nation's capital. Ballpark Cam taking us there. The Nats may have the pitching staff getting all the pub, but the Mets have a .642 winning percentage on opening day, highest of any team. By the way, these teams met each other on opening day just a season ago. Max Scherzer, Bartolo Colon, and our own Sam Ryan is there. Sam, welcome to the show. Expectations galore in the nation's capital. What are the fans saying ahead of Game 1? Confident, Sam?
Well, first of all, thanks a lot for following that. D-Ro, that was beautiful. My goodness. Okay, so this is why they're confident in the nation's capital, because they are armed, Lauren. Arguably the best starting rotation in all of baseball. It's Max Scherzer, the big offseason pickup, going today for the Washington Nationals. Signing, of course, that 7-year, $210 million deal during the offseason. His first career opening day start is today with the Nationals. He said, hey, the Lerner family family. They are ready to win. They want to win. We have the resources to compete now. On the other side, Bartolo Colon, a familiar face. He gets the ball for the Mets as Terry Collins going with the experience over the youth. This is his 7th opening day start, first with the Mets. Matt Harvey, of course, coming off Tommy John surgery last season, missed all of last season, and Collins didn't want to put too much on Matt Harvey's plate. So Bartolo Colon, Lauren, gets the start, and at 41 years young, he is the oldest opening day starting pitcher in Mets franchise history.
Wow, I want to talk about the Nats, though, relying on their staff and their guys. Give me a guy I wouldn't normally watch. I need to watch tonight and this season, Sam.
I don't think anyone would have penciled in Dan Uggla making the Nationals opening day roster. He is on the roster, expected to be in the lineup today for opening days for the Washington Nationals today. Now, Dan Uggla, if you recall, had a couple of tough seasons the last few years. He was released twice last year by the Braves and by the Giants. In 2013, 22 home runs, but his batting average below 180. So he comes into spring training, he proved himself, and of course there are injuries to the Washington Nationals. Anthony Rendon starting the season on the disabled list. Jason Worth as well, who is said to be close. Denard Span also on the DL. So the Nats a little bit banged up in the field, but it's Dan Uggla, 35 years old, expected to be in the opening day lineup today for the Washington Nationals.
And the commissioner throwing out the first pitch. Very cool. Sam Ryan, live in D.C. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Ballpark camp turned on in the Bronx, where Alex Rodriguez gets ready to DH in a couple of hours, against Drew Hutchison and the Toronto Blue Jays. Yanks opening their season at home, and Yanks opening with Masahiro Tanaka. That means CC Sabathia is able to talk to us when we come back on MLB Central next. It is opening day in Major League Baseball. Welcome back to our brand new Studio 21 and MLB Central. Back with Sean Casey, Mark DeRosa, Lauren Chahadi, Matt Vasgersian, and it is our pleasure to welcome in on the phone, presiding over his first opening day as commissioner, Mr. Rob Manfred joining us today. Commissioner Manfred, good morning. Happy opening day. How do you plan on spending the afternoon?
Well, my afternoon, good morning, first of all, and congratulations, guys, on your first day. Very exciting day for all of us at Major League Baseball. My first opening day I will spend in Washington. I'm going to go to the Nationals Mets game, and we have a variety of activities, press activities before the game, and then I'm going to be in the ballpark at 4 o'clock.
Sounds good. Mr. Commissioner, if you were to fast forward to the end of the regular season, what constitutes a successful season for you?
Well, I think that what I'm looking for in terms of this season is the kind of competitive balance that we had last year, exciting races into September, strong attendance as we've enjoyed over the past few years, and I guess I would be remiss if I didn't say a little crisper pace of game on the field.
Commissioner, hey, it's Sean Casey. You were talking before, you mentioned one time about the 154 games, and it's been bantered about. Do you think that's realistic maybe at some point down the road that we would see the season go back to 154?
I don't know. Realistic is the word that I would use. I will say this to you, Sean. In the entire 20-plus years that I've been involved, I think there's more receptivity to at least having a conversation about it than at any point since I've been around.
Commissioner Manfred, Mark DeRosa here. I just want to know, is there any chance of getting you on this couch at some point this year? And our wall of balls, 900 balls that will be signed, you've signed every one of them. Are we going to get you here?
Yes, you are going to get me there. I promise. Actually, Tony Petitti's here with me today, and Tony still works pretty hard for you guys, and you have my absolute commitment that I will be there.
Enjoy opening day today, Commissioner Manfred. Thanks for the phone call today. Enjoy the Mets and Nationals. We can't wait to have you down here to show off the new building.
All right, guys. Enjoy your first day, okay?
Thank you.
Commissioner Rob Manfred joining us here on this inaugural installment of MLB Central. We should have thanked him for the building, by the way.
I know.
That's our bad.
Hey, thanks for signing that check, Commissioner. Hope you're still watching.
He mentioned pace of play, though.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. He mentioned pace of play. Your thoughts?
People are going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
Pace of play is something that we talked about a lot in the offseason. We're going to talk about it a lot as the season begins in earnest today. And joining us now via Ballpark Cam in New York from the Bronx. Let's turn it on over at Yankee Stadium. CC Sabathia joins us. CC, happy opening day to you. This has got to feel strange. First time since 2005 that you have not been handed the ball on an opening day assignment. How are you feeling today?
I'm excited, just to be able to get a chance to enjoy opening day and watch Masa do his thing. I'm just happy to be able to get back and be a part of the rotation, so just glad to be here.
Hey, CC, Mark DeRosa here. First off, good luck as you embark on a 2015 season. But I wanted to ask you, do you see yourself as the X factor for this team? Because Tanaka's going to go out there and do his thing. Pineda looked nails in spring training. You're kind of that guy. You've been one of the best pitchers of my generation facing you. Do you see yourself putting that kind of burden on yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hopefully I can be here and just kind of be here for those guys. Those guys at the top of the rotation, Masa and Big Mike. We got a lot of faith in those guys, and hopefully I can just be right here and kind of be that Andy Pettit of the rotation and kind of, be that guy that can go out and give us what we need to try to win a game.
CC, what's up, man? It's Case. I'm looking forward to you.
Case?
Opening day, dude. Another season hits you. Still getting it done. How do you see you guys out there in the East? It seems like things are stacking up. Everyone's pretty close. What do you think your chances are of getting things done this year?
I think if we stay healthy, I think we got the talent to hopefully win this thing. It's all about us staying out there and the starters making all their starts. Our bullpen is obviously the strength of our team. So, if we can all get out there and be healthy, I think we got a good chance.
CC, where do you put the AL East in terms of most competitive divisions in baseball?
Since I've been here, it's probably been the best. So it's always tough. And I don't think it'll be any different this year. So, we're going to have to go out and play some good ball games and hopefully, play good in our division and try to win it.
CC, opening day, the ballparks have the bunting up. You guys have to, walk along the line. You get announced. It's different. It's not the usual daily grind. Is this fun for you still some 15 years into your career? Is an opening day still enjoyable?
It is this year because I don't have to stress about being, getting the tickets and trying to worry about pitching and getting to the park. So I'm really enjoying this. I'm looking forward to getting out on the line with the guys and enjoying the game today.
Well, we're looking forward to it on your behalf, and we can't wait to watch. So thanks for taking some time with us. I know we wouldn't have been able to do this in the last number of years with you starting on opening day. So we appreciate your time. Have a great season.
Thank you.
CC Sabathia joining us from Yankee Stadium via Ballpark Cam. From his own studio, the wacky antics of our own Mad Dog, Christopher Mad Dog Russo, joins us next on MLB Central. It's opening day, America! Oh, my God, who got it, Brandon DA?
It's 2015.
April 6th.
Abril 6.
I normally start sprouting pretty good in April.
We're all excited for baseball season.
Wow, they're going to be good.
They're itching to go, I know that.
I don't know, man. It's just us living life the way we always have.
He's itching.
So you went shopping for the groceries, you're waiting to see what the chef does with all the ingredients?
I'm glad you brought that up.
I think name tags are an option.
Oh, but it doesn't work that way. Trust me.
We're going to hug you and we're going to believe in you.
You're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you anyways.
Melvin Upton Jr. is my name.
Don't speak to him unless he speaks to you.
It's really scary, Scaredy cat.
Well, the old adage.
Stare your fears in the eyeballs.
Yeah, I got that email.
Real significant.
You look good in red, by the way.
Sexy. That's sexy.
Oh, he looks great. He looks good.
What's your body fat percentage?
It's a good question.
9%. What's 9? yours? Yeah. I'm right around 9.
White Sox. Whoop.
Didn't expect that to happen.
The wind's swirling.
I thought we were dealing with professionals.
We'll get off to maybe a little rocky start.
You got a tattoo mark on your wrist? Congratulations. Thank you.
How you feeling?
What am I feeling?
That's a tough question.
Excitement, adrenaline.
Nothing really significant.
Pretty much of a big spaghetti noodle.
Get this thing going on.
Wow, nice.
This is it.
I really want to learn how to Photoshop.
That's kind of what I was born to do.
It could be great.
I don't know what the future holds.
We're not doing it just for doing it.
That's a great point, Dave.
You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you come and ask questions first?
I got to tell them first.
You don't speak English, man?
I call that bull.
Hello?
Ah, that's outstanding. Some of the external monologue during camps as spring training is wrapped up. We'll be doing that occasionally on MLB Central. And if you thought that was hard to follow, how about listening to Christopher Mad Dog Russo every day? One of our faves, and he's going to be making a daily appearance on this show, MLB Central, leading into High Heat that follows us. We're kind of marrying the two shows together, and Christopher Russo will be here in a little bit. We'll call Central Heat. And Mad Dog joins us this morning. Happy opening day, Christopher Russo.
Happy. I can't believe it's my second year at the network on opening day, and the A's, I can tell you one thing, they stink. You got a long year, Matt, with your ball.
Oh, man, see, you got to come after my club that way?
Why not? Have some
Come on, Mad Dog.
How is everybody doing
Great.
there today?
What do you think of our set, Christopher Russo?
Oh, that a set. You guys are shirt and ties. I didn't wear a shirt and tie today. Look
Yeah.
at that shirt and tie, D, with that beautiful Camden Yards look.
Yeah.
What a superb job they did.
We'll be overdressed all season long, as a matter of fact, while you're out there rocking the everyday guy look, enjoying your day. Hey, did you watch the Cubs and Cardinals yesterday? And
I
if so,
did. I watched some of the typical Cubs, 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Wainwright looked good. Hayward gets the 3 hits. The ballpark is a little weird. I'm not too sure how to read that. Cardinals look like the team to beat again in the NL Central. I guess that's the way to look at it after one game.
you have a chance, Mr. Russo, to establish the score to beat in the inaugural running of Baseball IQ. Do you want to play a little game with us here?
I will. We'll see. Rehearsals did not go great, so we see how we do.
They went much better than you think. We're going to hit the Monty Hall light cue. I've got my Monty Hall sport coat on, or Bob Prince, depending on your orientations. We got some game show music, and I'm not sure if you remember the Baseball IQ show, Christopher. We did this on MLB Network a few years ago, and it's just nothing more than just standard trivia with a little twist to it. Here's how it'll work. You'll have 5 at-bats. Your first 4 at-bats, a correct answer gets you 1 run. Your 5th at-bat is worth 2 runs. Then we'll play an extra innings round, which is a list question. There are 10 names on the list. You get 1 run for each name you can correctly identify. You'll have 30 seconds for that list. But we'll start you here with your first at-bat, and we'll give you 10 seconds. We think these are in your wheelhouse.
If I don't get it right, you go to the next one, correct?
I didn't hear you because someone was talking. Go ahead.
If I don't get it right, I don't have to answer every one if I don't know the answer. Is that correct?
No, you can keep talking until you're done talking. We're going to bend the rules for you. And we would love it if you just stay true to yourself and use your hands as much as possible. I know that's going to be difficult for you. Are you ready?
I am.
10 seconds. Here we go. Which pre-World War II pitcher tossed an MLB record 6 opening day shutouts?
Christy Matheson.
Wrong answer.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you keep going. We got to buzz you. Nice job on the buzzer, by the way. We had to test out a bunch of buzzers during rehearsals, and that one's the one we chose. Walter Johnson.
Oh, that was a decent guess. Oh,
right. It was a good guess. Okay, that's all right. Here's another one. Here's some redemption for you. Which former Dodger is the only pitcher to homer on multiple opening days?
Don Drysdale.
Is correct.
That's a good one.
In 59 and in 65. So there's your first run. Okay. Here we go with question number 3. Who became the first player to homer in each of the first 4 games of the 1971 season?
I think that might be Mays. Is that correct?
It is correct. Willie Mays. 3 have done it since. Mark McGuire, Nelson Cruz, and Chris Davis did it a couple of years ago. So you've got 2 runs of a possible 3. Rolling right along. Here's your 4th question, worth a run. Masahiro Tanaka is scheduled to become the 3rd Japanese-born pitcher to start on opening day this afternoon. Who was the first Japanese-born pitcher to make an opening day start?
I'm going to guess it was Nomo.
It was Nomo. I give you special points if you can get the uniform he made that start with, by the way.
Special uniform. I said the Red Sox.
It was as a Tiger in 2000.
I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, that would have goofed us all.
Pretty good.
Hey, that was good. You got 3 of a possible 4 runs. This is your 5th question worth 2 runs. Here we go. Who logged the most consecutive opening day starts in baseball? Pitcher.
Pitcher.
What pitcher? Yeah.
What pitcher most consecutive day starts? Somebody, Steve Carlton.
Carlton was a good guess. Jack Morris, 14 straight.
Okay.
And should be a Hall of Famer by. Where are you on the Jack Morris for the
that.
Hall of Fame? Where are you on that? Because I'm very much in favor of it.
I am not, but Jack likes me, so I can't say that. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll move on. All right, so you got 3 runs out of 5 possible. Here's your extra innings question. Again, we'll give you 30 seconds. Fire off as many names as come top of mind because there's no penalty for an incorrect guess. You get 1 run for each name that you get off of this list. I don't have my pen, so I could mess this up. Throw me a pen, Shahadi, will you? Thanks. You're great. Thank you. I can't believe I caught that. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Name the Giants' last 10 opening day starters.
Last 10 opening day starters, Lincecum, Kane.
Correct.
Bumgarner.
Hang on. Kane, Lincecum, Bumgarner, yeah.
That's
Keep going.
3. Last 10. Kane,
Former A,
Lincecum.
left-hander.
Zito.
Right.
That's 4.
Former Pirate and Brave, a lot of money.
Yeah, Jason Schmidt.
Yep. Woody.
Woody Williams?
No, Woody. I was trying to give you Kirk Reeder.
Oh, Kirk Reeder. I should have gotten that.
Well, you ran out of time, but you can keep going.
5, last 10.
Here are the rest of them. Let's show you what you got here. Sean Estes, who's now part of their broadcast coverage. A lot of lefties on this list.
Hernandez, I should have gotten that.
Leave on.
I could have gotten 4 of those. Still not terrible. Not terrible getting 5. Not terrible.
It was great. No, you did great. You got a possible 16 runs in this thing. You got 8 runs. So you have established the score to beat in the inaugural running of MLB IQ. Baseball IQ, that is, and you'll be back to play it again down the road. I guarantee you, you'll better that score.
Not terrible. Not terrible. How's your first day? Is your show going well?
It's going. So we haven't been canceled yet. They haven't turned off the lights. Maybe that's an oversight, but we're still on the air.
DeRosa adding something for a change or not?
DeRosa's crushing it right now. What's coming up on the high heat later on today?
We have Mr. Costas today. We have Kristen Yelich today from Miami, and we'll do something in the Padre Brave trade. So we got a good show for you.
Chris, we can't wait. We look forward to high heat. Thanks for joining us on MLB Central. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, pal. Always a pleasure, man.
When I mean soon, I mean tomorrow.
Well, coming up on MLB Central, we had a pretty good idea that Cole Hamels would be on the mound on opening day, but the question was for which team? D-Row got up close to them. We'll talk about it after this. We are back, and we're in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park, Red Sox and Phillies. It's the only interleague series to start the 2015 season. That means David Ortiz will start at first base. How about Shane Victorino returning to Philly for the first time as a visiting player? It's coming up. Clay Buchholz. Cole Hamels is the pitching matchup there, back on the couch inside Studio 21. D-Row, you had a chance to sit down with Cole Hamels just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I really did. What an opportunity to get to inside the mind of one of the best pitchers of our game. And, we touched on a lot of different subjects. It was unbelievable. Can we roll the interview? Because
Cole Hamels, big trading chip, outstanding pitcher. I just want to win, that's all. That's all any competitor wants.
He's one of the elite pitchers in the game.
So there's going to be a lot of teams that are interested in Cole Hamels.
2015, you're getting ready for the season down here in Clearwater. It's kind of going to be a tough battle this year. So I want to reverse back 7 years to 2008. NLCS MVP, World Series MVP. Can you just can you put yourself back there, the smell of the field, the mound, everything like it was yesterday?
Yeah, I think just the excitement. It was the first time that you really did feel that everything that you've put into the off-season preparation, the spring trainings preparation, and then through that season, because we were able to pull it off in the end. That last day, just like we did the year before.
The Philadelphia Phillies are the National League Division champions of the East for the second straight year.
We just kind of had that more aggressiveness and that more certainty that we were going to be able to go do it. You go into the first game, when we played Milwaukee, and you didn't sleep before the night. You're nervous. You're trying to go over in your head. Okay, I've gotten these guys out before. Some guys have gotten hits, but you want to get them all out and not a guy get on base, because each out it's setting the tone. And when you have that very first game of a playoff series, you have to set that tone. You have to instill the confidence. So, when I got out there and I let that first pitch go, it's like everything just left, and I was back, on the mound. in my zone, and I knew what I had to do. All that sort of nervousness and pressure just dissipated.
8 in a row retired and 8 shutout innings for the 24-year-old left-hander.
When you have that confidence, you're able to go out and accomplish great things, and you can just feel that energy from all the players.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball, and let the city celebrate.
You do a lot of stuff off the field. I think that's the thing people don't really know, how much of an impact you have in Africa. You adopted a daughter from Ethiopia. You and your wife Heidi do a lot of big things. I think the world would love to know what's going on.
No, yeah, it's been a passion. I think, fortunately for the position that I'm at, you can reach a lot more people. Not saying that I couldn't if I wasn't doing what I am, but I do. I think my wife and I, we have big hearts, and we want to be able to reach out to areas that we know that might need some help. And then we were fortunate enough to be able to have our daughter from Ethiopia. Having the adoption process was amazing thing, and to be able to go over there, meet your daughter for the first time, knowing that she was not in a position to probably ever have a home life, let alone to be in a position to grow up and hopefully be a healthy girl. So we're just so lucky to be in that situation. I think our boys are loving life. It really puts a good perspective for them. As much as I love doing what I'm doing and the position that I've been given, there's a lot of people that don't have that, and we really just want to give a better perspective and give people a chance.
Are you looking forward to opening day? I know you're going to get the ball going against the Red Sox and just kind of be able to put all the noise behind you. I think people sometimes forget there's a human being, and you've become a beloved, iconic figure in Philly. I mean, you led this team to a World Series championship. You and Chase Utley, two California guys, you from San Diego, to come to Philly and to win that fan base over. I think people sometimes lose sight of it. It's just easy to talk about rumors, but at the end of the day, there's a bond there.
No, there really is, and this is something that's been special since the very first moment I was able to sign with the Phillies and learn what Philadelphia means to an athlete. It's not only just baseball. They really love their athletes and their sports. So we're gifted enough to be able to play the game, and you want to do the very best you possibly can. But when you have people in the stands that are fighting with you along those lines, it really pumps you up even more to go out and exert as much as you possibly can for your teammates and for that city. And I think Chase and I have definitely picked that up and enjoyed it. And that's what the season's all about. It's to finally get that started, just so you can put everything past you of whatever's transpiring for the past couple months, and then let it out on the line. And it's when you're able to do it in that city, there's nothing better. And I think that's something that I'll always cherish and I'll always strive for is a want, is that sort of desire to appreciate what I'm able to do, and somebody else is appreciating it too. And that's what fires you up to do it as long as you possibly can and at the highest level.
Well, I think there's no doubt after sitting down with Cole Hamels, not only is he one of our game's best pitchers, but what he's done off the field is miraculous. And I'm going to get a chance. One of the things I wanted to do when we started this show, and the idea of it, is I wanted to humanize the players. I sometimes don't think people at home know how much these guys impact their communities and what it takes, what motivates them, how they go about their grind every day. So I'm going to get a chance throughout the year to sit down with some of the game's greats and really pick their brains, and I'm super excited about it. And what better way to start it off opening day than Cole Hamels.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. We enjoyed the conversation with Cole. Not sure fans in Philly are in for an enjoyable 2015 yet. It might turn out as a surprise. We don't know. But there are probably bigger things expected in other cities in that division. And one of those cities is in South Florida. The Miami Marlins case, they've reloaded. It started with the Giancarlo Stanton big piece of money. They retooled at the winter meetings. They're legit this year.
I mean, you load up with Stanton, you give him that big contract. Then you go out and get D. Gordon, you get Prado, you get Morse. Yelich obviously is one of the best young hitters in the game. You talk about that rotation with Alvarez, Latos they pick up there too, Kozar. These guys are loaded. I tell you what, don't sleep on the Marlins. This club absolutely loaded up in the offseason. You see D. Gordon leading off the top there, but this top to bottom is going to be a great team. And yeah, you have some people picking them to go pretty far in the postseason. This is going to be a fun, young team to watch.
I love the Miami Marlins. And I'm going to give you a little inside info because I played with Mike Morse in Washington. He brings a karaoke machine into the clubhouse with him. And we wore that thing out. So Mikey Mo's in there right now getting those guys loose as a goose.
What's he singing?
Oh, we're not singing anything. We're just wiping people out, making fun of everybody.
It's a heckle machine?
Oh, heckle machine.
Oh, we need one of those.
Martin Prado's in there, one of the greatest guys. I love the Miami Marlins.
Real quick about Stanton, any concern? You get that huge contract before you'd seen another pitch since the incident. Any concern?
That's what spring training was for. He got in there, might have that little guard going on, but this guy is just special, and I think that's behind him.
Let's take a break. The addition of Craig Kimbrell put the exclamation point on a Padres offseason. But are they now one of the top teams in the game on the power rankings? You'll find out next on MLB Central.
Opening day.
Opening day, you just get anxious, you know, and you just you want to get going, you want to get going, you want to get going.
41-year-old Bartolo Colon will be making his 7th career opening day start. Clayton Kershaw, he will be your opening day starter.
Felix Hernandez, very impressive.
The Mariners have won the season opener.
First reigning Cy Young Award winner to open for the Dodgers since Sandy Koufax.
Bartolo Colon starts the season off with a punch-out. Felix Hernandez today, just outstanding baseball. Colon's pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
First pitcher to pitch a complete game on opening day and in a home run since 1953.
I don't think I could have scripted a better opening day.
So many great nuggets when you talk about so many great starters getting the ball on this opening day for the 2015 season. A lot of power pitchers, of course, on the mound this afternoon and tonight. And, of course, we have to look at, before the season really gets underway today, our preseason power rankings. These were compiled not only by the folks here at MLB Network, but by the people at MLB.com. We came up with the MLB power ranking list, 6 through 10. We got the Orioles, the Red Sox, the Indians, the Tigers, and the Angels. Can't wait to see who's 5 through 1. 5 through 1, funny you should ask, the Bucks and Cardinals, Seattle, the Dodgers, and the Washington Nationals. What? No San Diego Padres, you ask? This was compiled before the Craig Kimbrell acquisition last night, and San Diego is 11th on that list. At least they were before they got Kimbrell.
It is time to get your power rankings, D-Row and Case. It's a blank slate, so if you're wrong, nobody cares. D-Row, your power rankings.
My power rankings, I'm going to start number 1 with the LA Dodgers, and then I'm going to go number 2, Washington Nationals, the St. Louis Cardinals 3, Seattle Mariners, and the Anaheim Angels. I love what Andrew Friedman did with the Dodgers. I think he reconstructed not only that entire team, but the whole complexion of that clubhouse, and obviously they have Kershaw and Greinke to go along with. Just a lineup that flows, I think, a heck of a lot better than it did last year.
Which team excites you the most out of those 5?
You know, everybody's sexy pick is the Mariners. And because they're new to this, I feel like Taijuan Walker, James Paxton kind of put them over the top. They got Nelson Cruz. So they're definitely intriguing. I'm going to have my eye on them for a while.
Casey, are yours similar to D-Rose?
They are very, very similar. But the Mariners, I love them. I mean, I was down there at spring training with them. I think they're going to go to that next level with that rotation, bullpen, adding Nelly Cruz to that lineup. Then I'm going to go Dodgers number 2. Come on, they're legit every year. Nationals, that staff, what they have, Matty Williams out there. The Tigers in that offense, that staff's still good enough with the 3-headed monster at the top. And I like the Cleveland Indians sneaking in there. I think that rotation's good enough, led by Kluber. Kipnis is going to be back with some offense this year. I like them sliding in the 5-hole there.
Yeah, and the Indians make a nice announcement with the Kluber extension yesterday. I mean, that's a club-friendly deal for a Cy Young Award winner who's just kind of rounding into his prime.
Yep, no doubt about it. He loves it there. And listen, the Indians love this guy. Not a harder worker in the big leagues. This guy flat out gets after it. But when you take a look at Corey Kluber and what he brings to the table, he's got filthy stuff from his fastball on down, but his curveball is what separates him. Struck out more guys in the big leagues with a curveball than anyone else last year. You take a look right here of how filthy it is and how he puts people away. He threw at least 400 curveballs, and I'll tell you what, opponent's batting average, no one's hitting it. Under 100, and no one's squaring it up with the slugging. Listen, the thing you see when you see that chase number high and the strikeouts high, it's late and it's heartbreaking and it's deceptive. And that's why Corey Kluber ended up winning that Cy Young in 2014. That's why he's so special, and I think that's why the Indians slide into that 5-hole for me.
Wait a second. Where were the Royals? Were they on either of your power rankings? I didn't see them.
I don't have much.
You're just giving me that look. Like what?
I think the Royals are going to be better than people think. You don't get to the postseason and play to Game 7 of the World Series and that not help you. Eric Hosmer, Moustakas, all these guys. But at the end of the day, the starting pitching without James Shields.
I also think, though, that bullpen, you think about that bullpen, is pretty special. So the starters don't have to be exceptional. They have to be pretty good. Throw it over 7, 8, 9 out there.
No offense to the Royals, but their offseason was defined more by departures than it was for additions. The same thing with a team like Baltimore, who I was surprised to see in our MLB top 10, to be quite honest. No offense.
I'm blown away. You see a lot of preseason predictions, and the Baltimore Orioles are on 80% of people's predictions winning the AL East. And I know they're getting Manny Machado back. I know they're getting Matt Wieters back, but is Chris Tillman, I know Buck Showalter says he's our ace. Is Chris Tillman, I just feel like they got a lot of 2s and 3s in there, and they've won with that in the past, but we'll see. The Jays are stacked offensively. If the Yankees stay healthy, Boston's lineup is ridiculous.
Anytime Buck Showalter's driving that ship, though, they're going to be in good shape.
Everyone says that. We have 6 more minutes on this program, gentlemen. Coming up, the inaugural edition of MLB Central wouldn't be complete without some World Series predictions. Who will take home the trophy? We walk off after this.
What was the 6 minutes all about? What do we care about that?
I hate you. Already.
Walk it off. Walk them off. How about an exclamation point on that?
It's time for our walk-off. We get to one final say-so before we hand it off to Christopher Russo in high heat. So for the walk-off today, this will be our opportunity daily to get something off our chest. Not as though we haven't already done that for 3 hours, but if there was something else, we could do it here. But since this is the first day of the season, we got to have World Series predictions. Case, who do you got in the Fall Classic?
I got the Mariners and the Dodgers, 2 Cy Young Award winners, Kershaw and King Felix going head-to-head. The Mariners pulled off with Lloyd McClendon driving it.
Wow.
All Pacific time zone. I love that.
Yes. I'll be up late.
I got the Dodgers, L.A. Dodgers versus the Detroit Tigers in the Fall Classic and the L.A. Dodgers. Kershaw gets over the hump in the postseason.
He beats the Cardinals?
He leads them to a World Series championship.
Okay.
I say Mariners Nationals. You guys say it's too trendy. Bob Costas says Mariners Nationals. Ooh, great pick, Bob.
All right.
That happened earlier on the show, by the way.
It did.
Just so you know.
I'm going off the grid. I'm going White Sox because I want Hawk to be in the booth for a World Series again. And the San Diego Padres. That's right. I'm buying Fryer. Come on now.
Come
on, buddy.
Now. You
Get
at
him
home,
in there.
We have some Twitter feedback coming your way. Shout out to MLB Network for naming Studio 21 after the late, great Roberto Clemente. How about one more? Just found the new best show ever, or best new show ever, whatever. MLB Central, already addicted, very lively, fun crew on the show. Oh, there we go. Sean Casey, great guest.
That's right, guys. Thank you.
The soundboard is back.
Josh Donaldson tomorrow on MLB Central. Christopher Russo and High Heat's coming up next. Happy opening day, America.